So you have your exam in 3 days or less and you have no idea how to complete the portion. Well, then you have come to the right video. Let's not waste time and get into it. I'd like to assign these 3 days with 3 different tasks. Day 1 for preparing, day 2 for cramming, and day 3 for testing. First thing you have to do is find out how many hours you can allocate for study sessions alone for each day. My suggestion would be somewhere between 6 to 8 hours, but not more than that, because the method I'm going to discuss doesn't depend on the quantity but on the quality. I like to break down these 6 to 8 hours into 2-hour study sessions and make sure these 2-hour sessions are spaced out with breaks if possible. I spend the first 4 hours of day 1 preparing and not actually studying. I know it sounds scary to waste 4 precious hours on just preparing, but trust me, this will save you a ton of time for day 2 and day 3. First, you need to differentiate between what you need to study and what you can study if you have time. Because obviously studying what's important first is crucial. For this, I analyze the past 5 years' question papers and make a note of repetitive questions and make sure I add all these topics into the need to study list. Then whatever topics are left out will go into the try to study list. Now that I know what to study, I need the study material. Next thing I do is summarizing my notes for easy accessibility. That is, I like to have everything important in one place in a concise format so I don't waste time flipping between pages and books. There are 2 types of subject. One is theory and the other is numericals. If you're studying for theory, take a notebook and start writing all the subtopics under that particular topic and try to make up acronyms so it is easier for you to remember. Like in this case, I have made up the acronym HBD SSS CRSP, which makes it easier to remember as Happy Birthday, Triple S, and Crisp. If it's a numerical based subject like math, physics, chemistry, accounts, or stats, then make a cheat sheet with all the formulas in one single sheet of paper. This way you have it all in one place, and it also saves you a ton of time when you have to revise because it eliminates the time consumed by flipping through the pages. All this can be done in 4 hours or less depending on your syllabus, but make sure it doesn't exceed 4 hours. Now that you have the study material required in a concise format, it's time to actually start studying. I know you must be like, this is the part we all dread. I do have a few tricks that can make your studying process a little quicker. This is where you will need a handy dandy scribble book. Instead of just staring into an ocean of information, try to say the topics out aloud and write it down as quick as possible as you are saying it. It doesn't have to be neat or readable. So you're basically scribbling out whatever you're saying. This is scientifically proven because the left side of your brain is responsible for all the language abilities such as reading, writing, and speaking, and the right side controls attention and memory. Since both the sides are being stimulated, you're more likely to remember the information faster. Literally anytime I'm not able to concentrate even after reading it out loud, this method works as a charm. The next tip is very important. No matter what you do, after every hour, make sure you revise everything you have crammed so far. Since huge amounts of information is being crammed in a short period of time, we are more likely to forget it. So having a recap session after every hour is a must to avoid the "I studied this but I can't remember" phenomenon. Another tip related to recap is blurting. Once you're done cramming up with a bunch of information, take out a sheet of paper and write down everything you can remember about this topic. And once you're done, you can check and make corrections. If you have some extra time in your hands after you have covered all the topics from the need to study list, make sure you attempt to solve a question paper and correct it. This is the last and the most important tip. Use the study material that you've made in the beginning of your study session to revise the night before the exam. But do not forget that you must get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep before you attempt your exam, because your brain needs rest to help retain all the information that you have crammed. And if you do not get enough sleep, you are more likely to forget the information that you have crammed. So those are all the tips I have for you today. If you liked it, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification. I wish you all the very best for your exams. Hope you do well. I'll see you next week. Till then, bye-bye.